Today, we're putting the new Google Deep Think mode to the test, which was just recently launched. For those who aren't familiar, Google Deep Think was essentially rolled out within the last 24 hours and is being touted as one of the most powerful AI models in the world. In fact, it's already getting reactions from mathematicians online. If you want to get access, it costs approximately $250 a month. You can subscribe by visiting Gemini, Google.com, selecting the 2.5 Pro model, and then choosing Deep Think from the Tools section. That's the process to get access to it right there. So what this allows us to do is start building with it. I'm going to try out a few things, though frankly, it seems a bit overpowered for my needs, but let's test it anyway. We'll start with something very basic, like building Flappy Bird in HTML, because that's the traditional first task when you're testing a powerful new AI model. Let's give it a go and wait for it to load. The interface indicates I'm on it and notes that responses with Deep Think can take several minutes. This is an important point to remember because it requires significantly more thinking and power. It's going to be much slower to respond compared to lightweight models. In the meantime, while we're waiting, we can look at the benchmarks. Another thing to note is that using Google Gemini also gives you access to a range of other tools. For example, there's Flow, which is included in the AI Ultra plan. This tool lets you create movies with AI and similar things, and you also get access to VO3. If you haven't used VO3, you've been missing out, as it's one of the most powerful AI models available for animating images and photos. So there are many other benefits included with a Gemini Deep Think subscription when it works. That is, as you can see right here, something went wrong. That's not a great start. Let's try this again. It might be because I had another Gemini tab open in the background. I'll close the other tab and try that once more. I'm just going to prompt it to build Flappy Bird and see what comes next. As we wait for that to load, it's worth understanding that it essentially extends the thinking time for your prompts. While it's very powerful for building, it does take a long time to produce results. As we continue, someone asked if it's free. It is not, my friends. I believe it's $250 a month. I received a 50% discount for signing up for 3 months, so keep that in mind as the price increases after that. Someone also commented, "So great to see you in real, the one and only." On that note, if you want to connect with me personally, you can join the AI Profit Board via the link in the comments and description. It's the best place to reach me directly. We have 1,100 members, and it includes all my best automations, templates, and workflows. Our calendar features about 5 calls per week, including not-an automation masterclasses and a 6-week course for those who want to learn this material. It's been about 10 minutes. And I still don't have a response. Let's keep looking at some other information. This part on iterative development and design is quite interesting. Here we can compare the outputs from different Gemini models, Flash, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and Gemini 2.5 Deep Think. For a prompt like design a visual art scene of a pagoda in a beautiful garden, the output from Gemini Flash is quite basic. Gemini 2.5 Pro is a bit better, but still not exceptional. However, the complexity, creativity, and detail in the image from Deep Think are clearly superior. We can even open the thinking panel to see its progress. It says it's initiating the game construction, starting with an HTML framework and then planning to add visual appeal with CSS and game logic with JavaScript. It's also generating the play instructions. Deep Think is particularly good for scientific and mathematical discovery because it can reason through highly complex problems, making it a powerful tool for researchers and for developing algorithms and code. You can see the benchmarks here when you compare it to other top models like Gemini 2.5 Pro, OpenAI's GPT-4, and others. It's dominating across the board. On the Mamlu benchmark, which tests reasoning and knowledge, it scored 34.8%. It's also performing exceptionally well in code generation and mathematics. Alright, the result is back. We have the HTML and it appears to be a single file, meaning the JavaScript is likely embedded within it. Let's preview this code. It provides instructions on how to use it. Let's see if following them works. I'll open a text editor, create a new document, paste the HTML, save it as Flappy Bird, Hummel, and then open it in a web browser. It doesn't seem to have done much. The instructions didn't work unless I'm just terrible at following them. Let's try another way. I'll take the code and paste it into a live previewer. There we go. We have a working Flappy Bird. It works perfectly. It's not the most mind-blowing version I've ever seen, but it functions flawlessly on the first try, so credit where it's due. Now that we've tested that, let's move on to more interesting things. Let's try a different prompt, like building a hyper-dopamine Pong game. We'll start a new chat in Gemini, select the Deep Think model, and enter the prompt. Keep in mind that when I opened another Deep Think tab earlier, it broke, so I don't think you can have multiple tabs open. Let's test this against other models like Claude, Sonnet 4, and Grok. We'll also compare it to ChatGPT. Interestingly, I always thought Gemini 2.5 Pro was slow, but Deep Think is probably even slower. It's going to be a while before we get a result. It's worth noting that Gemini Deep Think achieved a gold medal standard at the International Mathematical Olympiad, the most prestigious competition for young mathematicians. It earned 35 out of 42 points, a gold medal winning score. Let's check the progress. We're still waiting on Gemini. ChatGPT is still running. Claude, however, has already come back with a very nice working game. The ability to preview it directly in the canvas makes things much easier. Now let's see who will win between Gemini Deep Think and ChatGPT. Also remember that when you use Deep Think, you can't use other tools like video analysis. A progress bar would be helpful here, as this is taking ages. It's interesting, I've never seen ChatGPT run slower than another model before. And wow, Gemini Deep Think didn't even provide a response. After waiting 5 minutes, we got nothing back. The thinking process shows it outlined a plan and refined its strategy, but the output is empty. ChatGPT eventually returned a game file, and Claude gave us a much better result. Let's look at the ChatGPT output. It's nowhere near as good as Claude's. So to recap, Gemini gave us nothing after a 5-minute wait. ChatGPT took nearly 4 minutes to produce a poorly rendered game. Claude, on the other hand, crushed it in about 2 minutes. This demonstrates that sometimes being too clever isn't actually better. For $250 a month, this feels like a waste of time. Honestly, I would not recommend Gemini Deep Think for 99% of people. From what I've seen, it's slow, it failed in 2 out of 3 tests, it's expensive, and Gemini 2.5 Pro on its own is actually quite good. If I give the same prompt to the standard Gemini 2.5 Pro, it's much faster and provides a preview right in the canvas. Look at this, it took about a minute, the output is beautiful, and the game works complete with sound effects. It's better than ChatGPT's result and definitely beats Deep Think, which gave no response. In some ways, it looks similar to or even better than Claude's version. So in conclusion, I don't think Gemini Deep Think is worth it. Perhaps it's buggy because it was just released, but the point stands. Thanks for watching.